Hey guys, it is Tristan with Nerdud's Newsstand, and I want to talk a little bit today. I didn't get to do a live stream yesterday, so I want to do my top picks of the week, and I think I'm going to make this a normal thing towards New Comic Book Day, so we can kind of discuss what was best and maybe even what was worse. So, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe if you enjoy comic book content, pop culture content, anything along those lines. Hit like, leave me a comment down below. What was your number one pick this week? I will get to that. And it started as a top 5, but I have a few honorary mentions that I want to make sure I say. Now, I did actually review this. So I have 3 honorary mentions. I did actually review this, and it was really good. I like the new story with Keepsake. I like learning a little bit more about Kevin. I like Harley Quinn Annual Number 1. Now, it was done by Stephanie Phillips, and that, she's done a really good job as of late. The art was done by David LaFuente, which was a step up for sure, from Riley Rossmo. So I did enjoy this, but it didn't make my top 5 just because there was so many different good books this week. This just didn't hit that mark. So for my next honorary mention, I have another annual, and that is the Midnighter Annual. And if you haven't been reading the backup stories, I may do a full entire story breakdown at some point, but it is by Becky Cloonan and Michael Conrad. The art is by David Avalon Deming, and it's been really, really good. Now, it's been a little bit of wonky art, and that's my biggest beef with this. But seeing Midnighter and Apollo together again and learning a little bit more as to the background of this weird andronized character. And it's been pretty damn good, but still didn't make the top 5 for sure. So my last honorary mention that I actually have is Wonder Girl. And this one was kind of hard not to keep out of the top 5, but it's been moving slowly. I feel like this was one that really had a lot of forward momentum when it initially was announced. A lot of people were excited. A lot of people love Yara Flor, and rightfully so. I love Yara Flor. She's a great character. It just hasn't hit that mark to me of like really great. It's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but it's not great. But we did get to see a little bit more with her and her new boyfriend. And I like that, it's just a straightforward storytelling. I won't ruin it. We do get to see Cassie and Artemis. So I really enjoy that. So for my actual top 5. For number 5, I have a book that I probably wouldn't have picked up, but I do watch Comics Elite every single week, and it was one of their top books. And it is All American by Ron Mars, and the art is by Marco Costello. This is a weird story, and it's not a superhero story, just first off. It is a story about 2 Russian spies that worked over there for the KGB, and they are trying to get to America. And I was like, oh, it's called Almost American, and it's by Ron Mars. Yeah, I'm gonna pass. I don't know what mess this could be. No, it's based off a true story. It's about these 2 Russian spies trying to trade secrets for a new life. And actually, towards the end of the book, once you are introduced to the characters and you get a little bit of exposition and you get to meet the person that is actually behind it. So I love it. So for number 4, I have Dark Ages. I really enjoyed this. It is by Tom Taylor, and Tom Taylor for me really lately has been hit or miss. So I was surprised at how good this was. The art is by Ivan Coella. Now, this is an Elseworld story from Marvel. It's going to be going back to the Dark Ages, obviously. I didn't mean a pun there. It just kind of worked out, right? So we see basically the end of the world. Nothing that is electronic is working. And Spider-Man has his baby back, May. So I'm so excited about that. And it's super cute. It's basic storytelling 101 and no hidden agenda. I love it. I love it. So that's rare from Tom Taylor. So for number 3, I have Fear State Alpha. Now, I would say if you're reading the main titles, you probably don't even need to read this. This didn't add a whole lot, but the reason why I put it in here is because it is a good starting point for someone who wants to read Fear State, but hasn't necessarily kept up with every single Bat title. We get to learn a little bit about the meeting of Simon Snate and Scarecrow. We get to learn a little bit more about what is going on with the 2 different binary personalities of Poison Ivy and why they're separated. We get to learn a little bit more about what's going on in Gotham in general. And that's pretty much it. But it was beautifully drawn. Absolutely beautifully drawn. It was by James Tynion, right? But the art was done by Riccardo Federici. Oh my God. I absolutely love his art style. And it, even in basic dialogue between, Scarecrow and Simon Snate, that he was still able to make Scarecrow really, really menacing. And I like that. And honestly, you don't have to keep up with the titles if they do some sort of kind of summary and exposition for this in its entirety, right? So for number 2, I have The Many Deaths of Layla Starr. Oh my God, I love this title. It is so unique. It is so good. Now, it is the end. This was a 5-issue miniseries told by Ram V. The art is very different, and at first I didn't think I was going to like it, but I ended up really, really enjoying the different art style, and that is done by Felipe Andrade. Beautiful, beautiful. Kind of is the story of death, and because this is the end, I'm not going to spoil the last issue, but basically, Death gets fired because immortality has been invented. She goes down to Earth. She actually dies 6 times during these 5 issues. And she learns the basic value of humanity through being on Earth. And she learns the value of life. And she learns why it's important and why also, in a way, death is important too. So for number 1, I had to have Geiger. Another one I want to do a full breakdown of. But it was so good. Oh, man. You know what, though? If anything, I'm kind of sad. I see what Jeff Johns is going for. The art's done by Gary Frank. Now, I see what he's going for. He wants to make this a bigger universe, right? He wants to make a lot of different storylines. So this is a key, if you're interested, of Junkyard Joe, which looks like it will be the next character to be introduced. But my bond had formed with these characters, and that's going to be the biggest hurdle I think Jeff Johns has to go, because now we're going to get more of this world, right? But it's not going to be Geiger. Geiger was just like, bye, kid. I don't want to spoil it too much, but I was a little annoyed with when that happened. I don't want to spoil it, and I do anyways, but so we're going to see, Junkyard Joe. We're going to see all these different immortals in this unknown world that have basically come up during really hard time periods in our history, whether it was World War II or the Revolutionary War. We're seeing all of them. Next is Junkyard Joe. And our story didn't end with the king. So I'm not sure how that's going to work. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but there is an 80-page kind of anthology that's coming out in November. So I'm assuming within that 80-page anthology, there will be a lot of key characters, right? But there will also be a lot of explanation as to this world and the bigger picture at hand. Now, unfortunately, I'm still going to want to read Geiger, right? I at first I was like, he looks just like Phosphorus Man, right? But now I'm like, I want more of him. So that's kind of unfortunate, but the story ended well. I'm glad to see that we're getting more of this world. I'm just a little apprehensive, but for 6. It was my number 1 pick because it was that good. So let me know, of course, what your guys' favorite or your number 1 pick was for the week. I absolutely had a hard time picking this one. We did have a anthology for Aquaman come out, and it was just like, meh. Even the Dan Jurgens story, and it was kind of like, meh, okay. All right, yeah. That was, and then the Batman Superman, that was really good too. Just, there was so much good this week. So let me know, of course, what you guys think. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.